Latesha, I'm going to take this Latesha,
Yes, Latesha has.
is but we are back. We are talking to Androw Samuels, United Church in the parish of Scary. He is diving a little into his testimony where when he went into the church for the first time, what he was experiencing was not what his spirit was fed with, and so that caused him to backslide. But he is now a committed saint of Christ, and he is living a life. Let me just ask you this question. Totally different what we have planned tonight. But I know you to be a chacha Christian. Let me put it that way. Chacha Christian. So when he just he goes all out. So I want to ask you tonight, regarding the topic that we did some time ago about modern day dressing and Christianity. What are your views?
All right, my thing is right, and this is totally my views and my perspective. I feel as if when I am going before God, when I am going to worship, I should look my very best, and I should look my very best for God Himself. And when I decide to put myself together, I know that I want to know that whenever I go within His presence, I feel very proud. I feel as if I am the richest man in the world, even though probably I probably can't show my tithes and offering. But yes, I want to look my very best whenever I'm going before God.
Right,
Put
right.
myself together totally. And then where modern day dressing and the church is concerned, I know a lot of persons will have issues with it because they would say, oh, you're a Christian, you shouldn't be dressing like the world, or you're a Christian, you shouldn't be wearing this, you shouldn't be doing that, or whatever, yada, 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 yada. But at the end of the day, it is not about, the Bible says, God looks on the on our inward appearance, while mankind looks at your outward appearance. In other words, God looks at what is inside your heart, but man can only see what is on the outside. They can't see really what is inside your heart. And at the end of the day, for me, once God knows that whatever I'm wearing, it is not an idol any at all to me, because after church and I take off these clothes, that is just it. It is just for me looking good going before God. And I mean, we don't all the while have to probably be well dressed like puss going before God, because I mean we're going to serve Him. But
And
also, I was listening to a church service the other day, and the pastor was while in his message, he said that he hates to hear when church people say, "Then just haul on something to come to church." He says, "No, you must not haul on things to come to church. You must dress to come to church." Meaning, when you haul on something, you just grab anything you catch and put it on. But when you come to church, you must dress. When you're dressing to go somewhere, you probably plan from the day before what you're going to wear. If you have an interview, you're going to an interview somewhere to get a job. You you plan probably like from the moment you receive the call to do the interview, you start to plan what you're going to wear. If you're going to have to buy a shoes, you have to probably buy a blouse, a shirt, a pants to put yourself together, because in this interview that you're going to, you have to bring an image before the interviewer, because if you go looking anyhow, they will say, no, I can't have this person working for me just like this, because I even, it's on the topic of interview. I remember when I just left high school, I went on an interview, and I went. This was a job for a handyman. If you know what a handyman is, you know,
Yeah.
clean up around the place and stuff like that. Yes, I went for a handyman job, and when I went, I was well dressed. I mean, shoes, shirt, pants. I was very well dressed, and even though it was for a handyman job, I went dressed nonetheless because at the end of the day, it was an interview for one, and then two, it was still a job, regardless of what the job was and how society may look at that job, you know. And everything that I had on, there was a store they call R.A.W. It's in Port Marion. And anybody who know about R.A.W knows that them sell cheap things. You know, and everything that I had on it was very cheap, but I put myself together so well that when the interviewer saw me, she looked at me too. She looked up at me and she looked at me good and she said to me, "You know what this job is about?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Sure, you know what a handyman job is?" And I said, "Yes." You know, and she said to me, "No, man, I don't think you know what this job is." You know, and she didn't give me the job because she felt as if I was so dressed to do a job, to do a handyman job. She probably feel as if I wouldn't do a good job because here was a chacha
A
boy then,
bossy boy.
probably. She was right, a bossy boy, I got do that kind of job. But as
And
I
the
said,
man work.
right. It is your image and how you decide to present yourself. So if I'm going before God, I
Right.
want to look my best for Him. I don't care about what the world
Right.
might think or what the world might say, because I live by this motto again. What a man says or thinks about me is none of my business. You know, so it's
Right.
just for me at the end of the day, like the songwriter says, I'm so glad that Jesus knows. You know,
Jesus
once God
knows.
knows what He knows, once God knows what He knows, I am very happy with that. So
Right.
how a person dress the as as we would say modern day dressing on the church. Sorry, I mean if you're dressing, if it makes you feel comfortable and it makes you feel pretty for God, even though God already knows that we are beautifully and wonderfully made by Him. You understand? We don't have to put any additive to that because He accepts us as we are. If you're comfortable doing this, once this is not something that you're doing to probably say, you know, say Thristina come to church today, me want Thristina know say me can dress better than she. Or more Latin know
Right.
say she can hotter than me when church time come. Once you know that you're not doing it for this reason and for this purpose, and you're doing it in moderation, you're doing it, you know, where when the world looks on you, they will see that yes, this is a woman of God, this is a man of God, this is a child of God. I mean, it's for me. I think it just goes back to you as a person to understand what you're doing and understand who you're representing. Remember, we're representing Christ, and everything about Christ when about Jesus when he was on earth. He was very well dressed. He was really put together. You know, I remembered a story from the Bible. A man asked him just for his robe. You know, because he was always if even when you watch the documentaries about the crucifixion, he was very well put together. His disciples were very well put together as well. They didn't just all on anything when they were traveling with him, or he didn't just all on anything when he was traveling. He was well dressed.
Right. Thank you for sharing your views on that aspect. The questions of the night. Latesha, would you like to go ahead and ask him the other question?
All right, not a problem. Who do you think is responsible for counseling the young people in the church?
All right. Counseling young persons in church. I don't leave this as a sole responsibility on any one person in per se. But what I think, where counseling is concerned, I think counseling should come from persons who are experienced, or sometimes we have in the church professional counselors, persons who went to school, who who are certified to do counseling. That they can be a perfect person. The elders in the church can be counselors, the pastors can be counselors, and where counseling is concerned, I strongly believe counseling should come from someone or from persons who are experienced. Because I mean, look at this now, right? Tristina coming to me and she saying to me, boy, the send me teeth hot, you see. Say me have a teeth here, man, and my teeth kill me. Actually, you don't know, you know. I mean, never feel a teeth ache in my life. I mean, I go say to her, I say, me understand. Yeah, man, me understand. I am telling a lie because there's no way I can understand when I know nothing about a toothache. I've never felt a toothache in the day of my life. So there's no way I can share any form of sympathy to her, saying that I understand that the pain is rough or the pain is unbearable because I've never felt it before. But if it was something that I've experienced, I can say to her, yes, I understand and I can relate, because I had a similar experience. Because everybody's experience will be different, but my experience and your experience, they're similar, so I can relate to you. So persons who are experienced and persons who have been in the business of Christianity for a very long time. And then you have, and I mean, when I say persons who are in the business, I don't mean churchgoers. I mean real soul out for Christ Christians, persons who are
Right.
there saying that they're serving God, and they're not only just saying it, they mean that they're serving God. Because I mean, a lot of persons
Yeah.
are, lot of us are using church, and going to
As
church
cover up.
for many different reasons. For many different
Right.
reasons, because I have a message that I'm trying to put together about the type of persons who go to church.
All right,
So
Mr. Preacher.
Chevy in the comments is saying, could I say something based on what the bro said about Jesus attire? I told him to go ahead. So I'm waiting on what he has to say about what you said concerning Jesus attire.
Okay.
While we are waiting on him to comment, let me just move on to the other question. How important is Bible studies in the church?
Bible study is very important. It plays a integral role in church. Because I mean, in order for us to know about Christ, we have to study the Bible. And a lot of us reading the Bible on our own, sorry, we will probably not get a real understanding. But you have persons who have been there, who really understand and can interpret what the scriptures are saying and dissect it away that you as a newcomer to Christianity will understand what it means when the Bible says an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. You know. Or when the Bible says if you get the slap on the left jaw, you should turn the right jaw, for another slap. A lot of persons are saying the Bible is contradicting, but the Bible is really not contradicting. It's just for us to really understand what the Bible is saying, and Some of us as well, we interpret the scriptures to suit our lifestyles. So Bible study for me is very important because this is the food that will feed feed the new convert. Not only, and it's not only for the new converts. It's even for persons who have been there for years.
A good refresher.
Thanks for sharing that. Um, Latesha, I think Latesha agrees with what you're saying because she also that person misread and misinterpret what the word of God is saying, and so we have to be careful of who is counseling us, right, Latesha?
Correct.
All right. So thank you for sharing that. And did the person in the comment say said what you need to
Heavy,
say? He or she? Yes.
heavy. Alright, so he hasn't responded as yet, but what we can do in the meantime is to gather a few last points
Look,
and to wrap this up.
right.
Um,
That's what I'm doing now. The other question, Mr. Samuel, I want to ask you, what do you think can be done in order to improve the counseling in the church for young people?
I think what ought to be done is that what I
All right,
think
what ought to be
can
done?
be done. What what is to be done then? I think the leaders of the churches know they have to go back, you know, go back and really think about Christ and think about what it is that how serving God the real and true way, what it really means, because when on the day of judgment, when God comes and he asks you, where's the soul that you win for the kingdom, who are you going to show? And I mean, you winning a soul, winning a soul, and is not telling somebody, oh, you should come and give your life to God, and you tell 10 persons that they should come and give their life to God, and yes, all 10 persons come and give their life to God, but where are these 10 persons now? Where are them? Where are they? All these 10 persons, are they still living? Is their life still in God's hands? Or did they backslide? Why did they backslide? Because all you did, you explained to them that, oh, it is right for you to do this, and it is right for you to serve God, and this is the right way, and we are created to do this, and yada 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 yada. And then probably most time, because they're inexperienced, and then they feel so pressured, and then they get scared by the whole revelation and the coming and the fire and all of that, then they run to Christ. Because if you notice, a lot of persons, they get saved on December 31st, every year. And if the malice anybody, they try to talk back to them, because they think, especially from 1999, that was a year when a lot of persons think that 2000 was the coming of Christ. A lot of persons give their life to God. A lot of persons did this and all of the stuff. So when you're going to
Right.
say to
So,
somebody to come and give their life to Christ, you can't just leave it at that. You have to, as I said, you have to plant. When you plant the seed, you have to water it. So what they need to do is, when young converts come into the fold and give their life to Christ, they have to pay attention to them. They have to make sure that they put things in place, have counseling sessions with them, have new convert class with them, make sure they are at Bible school, you know, assign a responsible brother or sister to them that will pray with them, that will call them from time to time to make sure that everything is okay, and if there's any assistance they probably need spiritually, they can look to that person. And we too, as Christians, we have to understand that it is for we have to allow persons to have trust in us. That if they have a problem and an issue and they come to us with it, when they come to me, they won't hear Thristina with it, they won't hear Lati with it, they won't hear you, Leondra, with it, and they know within themselves they only said it to me. But at the end of the day, there are 3 more persons that know about this situation, and the only person they said it to was me. So we have to learn. So when we hear things, we leave it right where it was said, and you deal with it. So the leaders of the church have to put things in place. I know a church in Kingston that they have a very good program where this is concerned, because they have what they call new convert class, which they set for a specific time within the week, and they would announce it on Sundays in church. Like they say, this coming Tuesday at 5 o'clock, we have new converts class. So all new converts, they're expected to be there. I don't know what they do when they go to new converts class, but I know that they set aside things like this. Set aside counseling sessions. But if you can't do it one-on-one, you do it within groups. So just put things in place that will keep these persons in church, because you can't just invite them into Christ and just leave them at that. You're going to throw them in the water and say, oh, go and swim. No, you have to teach them to swim first.
Right. Thank you for sharing. Latesha, we close
Yeah.
off with you tonight. What
Let
do you think? Go ahead.
I was gonna jump into the comments.
All right, do that.
But-
Thank you for reminding me.
All right, so Chevy says, okay, so remember that the Bible spoke in Isaiah 53 that nothing about Jesus' clothing drew the people to him, but they are accustomed to lavish dressings by the Pharisees. He said, yes, he was not dirty, but modest dressing is a must, but not extravagant dressing. And Thristina Anna Banana bigging you up in the comments. Chevy went on to say this too can even cause others to stumble. On other points on what he's saying, definitely can't just baptize people to leave them to fall back out. So he's agreeing with you, Mr. Samuels.
Okay, but what I would like to ask Chevy though, what he is a he, right?
Yeah.
What he considered in his own definition, what is extravagant dressing? Because what might be extravagant for him might not be the same for me. Can probably not be the same for you, Lati, or Leondra, or Thristina. You understand? Because we all have a different perspective on things.
Actually, it's a very, very good question, because if you think of it logically, I like to wear big hats, and I also like to wrap my head, but I wear large hats, so maybe Andrew will say, where you going in that, where you gonna have big hat then? That's too extravagant.
Go black coffee, go black coffee people they will sit down our back.
Especially if
right, and then at the end of the day, it is not something that you idolize. It's just something that you love to do, and you enjoy doing. Right, and you like the look. And as I say, everybody would like to have an image. Mm-hmm. So it is really for us to say what you consider to be extravagant. I mean, we're not going to church and then your breast out the door, your belly skin a show, you have something right up under your bottom, so with the whole of your bottom leg a show out.
You know what I personally hate, Andrew? I don't know about anybody else, but I don't think I should go to church with something with the sleeve so short that the arm is right here, so that you can't even praise the Lord because your armpit
everybody's
is seeing. Like
yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just for us to do things in moderation then. Like I said, moderation.
Right. Oh, so he's saying, Vanisha, bigging you up in the comment again, Thristina. Yeah, your people follow up, man.
You come with your crowd.
My coworker.
So, what Chevy is saying, meaning what he means is jewelry and big expenses. The Bible spoke about costly arrears. I don't believe in going to church in your big everlasting whoops and
No, sir.
some necklace and all the bundles and fandandles coming up here. I don't agree. Definitely.
Well, well, if that is what he's thinking about, then I have a watch, and if I do put on my watch to go to church, the first thing when I go to church is that I take it off, because everybody knows when I start to move, when I start to move in the street, probably a watch on my hand will probably be burst. So
And I
that's
have
the
to
Really
first
call
thing.
somebody hi.
Right. So even if I leave the house in the watch, whenever as I reach in the church and I start to worship, I take it off and put it down somewhere. Sometimes I will take off my shoes and I'll be barefoot
I
in my
was just
socks
going to
that's
say
me.
that
because that's
everybody
me.
who knows me know that I'm a barefooted worshiper.
Yeah.
When I want when I'm ready to dance, I don't want any hindrance. I don't want to say I
No
can't
shoes,
dance
not
in these
squeeze your big
shoes.
toe.
You understand?
On, on the on the point
That's
of that,
me.
Andrew, I remember I was at church. I was at this church the other day, and didn't wear. I had slippers, but I wore heels. I had slippers in my bag, but I took off the heels and I was having the slip and I had the slippers on. And some part of me just want jumping on me want jump, and when me jump the slippers them too slippery, me take off the slippers and the heels them and everything in my bag, and I was running up and down because me know once when me I run me go run and slide. I'm supposed to be freely worshiping. If me have on a necklace and I go to church, me I take off the necklace. Or if me have on jewelry or anything, as soon as me in the mood for worship, it has to come off. Whether I do it freely or under the anointing, it have to come off because I just cannot
Right.
feel
So
comfortable worshiping in stuff like that. So you have to know how to do it
I
in
see
modern.
that we don't want to stop talking, but time is saying we would have to
Definitely.
come back. I want to get Latesha's say on this question. What do you think? What do you think should be done uh to improve counseling in the church for young people?
What do I think should be done to improve counseling in the church for young people? Hmm. Um, the first thing I would say is that somebody needs to see the need for it, because until you acknowledge something, you're not going to fix it. So someone needs to
Right.
acknowledge that there is a need for it, that it needs to be done, and then they need to take action from there on. Also, a lot of times when the elders deal with younger people, they tend to deal with it from a personal perspective. And I personally think when you're dealing with people, you need to deal with the person as a whole, which means that
Generally.
generally, right, which means that you're gonna examine where the person is at in the faith in order to determine the counseling tactic that you'll need to use going forward. Because the truth is, what works for Tom might not work for Harry. And then the entire church body needs to realize that it is a collaborative effort, which means that even though the pastor is trying to assist this person in terms of counseling them and so on, the rest of the church can't be bullying this person. I love to say after bullying, hashtag end church bullying.
Hashtag end church bullying.
So the rest of the church
Hey,
needs to understand that it is a collaborative effort. In Jamaica, we say it takes a village. In the church, we need to use the same saying, it takes a village. Because one person
raise a
can be
child.
trying with the person to counsel them, and the other person, there are a lot of other persons around them who are doing otherwise. So that's what I think. I think that they definitely need to acknowledge the need for it, and then take action from there without bias or anything like that.
All right, so thank you. Definitely agreed. Uh, Thank you guys for joining with me tonight on the Raw Chill Spot. Uh, I am definitely going to ask you guys to come again. And thank you to those of you being on the live, and thank you for your participation as well. This has been the Raw Chill Spot with yours truly, Leondra Ricketts-Williams, Latesha Parks, Androw Samuels, and Thristina Haughton. Have a wonderful
And
night, guys. And for
before
those
you
of you
go,
guys who and for those guys who have messaged me and told me that they want to join in, I'm so sorry that time is against us, but we will definitely be back and we will have you on.
and guys,
What were you
before
saying,
y'all go,
Latesha?
of course, I definitely want to say thanks for all of you for tuning in. For those of you who are late, definitely join us earlier next week. We start at 7. And just a gentle reminder that after next week, or my charity show on the 25th will be happening.
Oh, could
It's
I
called
forget that?
it's called the Extend Pages Poetry Fest and Fundraiser. You guys definitely need to be there. It's going to be epic. Not only will we be bringing poetry to you, but we're also going to be bringing food for thought in the form of speeches, and we'll also be bringing music because you know we're Jamaican and we definitely can't leave that out. It's going to be international. We'll have people right across the globe, and we'll definitely love to have you guys tuning in. The aim of the project is to fund food items for 5 families. And also we'll be doing a food drive, feeding 30 homeless in Spanish Town on Hanover Street and in the town on the 27th, which is the Saturday after the event. And then the event is the 25th, and the 26th we'll donate the food care packages, which I tend to call blessing bags, to 5 family, not in Spanish Town, but all over, in various places in Jamaica. So guys, you can definitely look out for that coming up. We definitely ask that you donate, whether it's food, if you have the money, it's fine. Whatever you can donate, definitely appreciate it. Real quickly before we go, Leondra, I just want to pick up my sponsors so far. Ministry in Motion,
Go ahead.
The Healing Place, Yanni Caragan, big up yourself. Grace Foods, big up yourself. They're not on here, but yeah. And Circle K, of course, Circle K, big up yourself. And her Powerful Purpose Publishing. So guys, come out to support on the 25th. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern Central Time, Standard Time. Sorry, Eastern Standard Time. Make it a date. That's all I have to say.
Before you go, Lati, I know you mentioned to donate, but you didn't give you didn't give a direction.
I wasn't.
The link that I was going to say.
Let's say somebody would like to donate. What they're going to do? Just say, "All right, you know what? I'm going on Facebook. I'm going to just write donate."
No. So there is a link, guys. There's a link. It's also in the description.
Will be down in the comments.
It's on the description on Facebook, and it's on the description on the YouTube page. Also, if you guys are on my page, it's on my page as well, both Instagram and Facebook. It's also on my website, which is not officially opened as yet to the public, but it's there. So, and I'm also gonna tag it in the comments here as well.
Wait, I'm a troublemaker now. What if I'm not a phone tete per se? I'm not a technology person. I don't understand what you're talking about this link thing. But yes, I want to donate. I have 6 mackerel in the cupboard, and I like to give you 3. How can I do that? Just go on the link and drop the 3 mackerels.
Okay.
How I do that?
If you'd like to donate food items, Mr. Samuels, who is so far away, if you'd like to donate food items, you can definitely.
I'm not speaking for myself though. I'm speaking in general.
you guys, if you want to donate food items, you can definitely reach out to me. My contact number, it's all over the place, 4238999. You guys can definitely reach out to me. If you want to donate and you don't want to use the link, because the link uses PayPal. If you don't have PayPal, you guys can definitely donate to my account. Of course, I'll withdraw that to add what we've had, what has been donated so far.
What is your account number?
Guys, on Facebook,
What?
since she's been so vague, on Facebook, she's Latesha Parks. So look for Latesha Parks on Facebook because she's been very, very, very vague.
I've been very big.
Right.
Oh my God. And guys, the account number is National Commercial Bank Halfway Tree Branch. It's a savings account. It's 305-082112.
All right, so that's it, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight on the Raw Chills. Have yourself a wonderful, almost midnight, almost midnight. I hope that we were able to encourage somebody because that's the aim and purpose of this show, to encourage, shed some light on issues that are affecting young people. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night.
Right?
Adios.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Buenas noches.